Welcome to yet another episode of Beyond HerStory on Wonder Woman Wednesday. Today we are privileged to have with us Dr. M.S. Asha Devi, a Kannada critic, a writer and a professor at Maharani University. Dr. Asha Devi is MA in Kannada Literature and she's also done her PhD. She is a recipient of multiple awards including the 2020 Sahitya Shri Award, the Masti Award, the Kalaburgi Award, GSS Award and many more awards. In today's conversation, let us know more about her work and her journey. Welcome, Dr. Asha, to Beyond Her Story. It's such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you so much, Sneha. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Yeah, let's start from your journey. Basically, you've done a MA in Kannada Literature and then you have done a PhD. So how did that come about, in the sense, like, were you interested in Kannada literature right from your childhood, or was there something which sparked that interest?
I'm interested in literature in general because both my parents, they were voracious readers. So that tempted me to go for MA in Kannada. Actually, in the initial stages, I wanted to do my MA in English, but later on, I changed my perspective. I wanted to become a lecturer. So I said, let me focus on Kannada literature. So I went for my Kannada MA.
Okay. So you have done, actually, you are a Kannada critic, you're a writer, and currently you're a professor in Maharani Science College.
Maharani Cluster University. Now it has become a university. So I head the department now.
Okay. So, Dr. Asha, you've done a PhD in Navodaya Vimarshaya Mele Paschatya Vimarsheya Prabhava, which is influence of Renaissance criticism on Kannada criticism.
Yes. Basically, I'm also a student of comparative studies. In the Kannada MA, we have got two categories. One is comparative studies and another one is purely Kannada literature. I had taken comparative studies, wherein we used to study all Indian languages along with English also. So it gave me a broader perspective and a canvas to study.
Okay. So what was it about, if you can just explain? I mean, in a few simple words.
The thing is, mainly modern Indian literature is greatly influenced by European literature. Though it has been influenced, the stuff is our own.
Yeah.
The stuff is our own. And there is a myth called, the whole of modern Indian literature, especially the first stage of modern Indian literature, is the product of the influence of European literature, but that is not the case.
Okay.
The very concept of criticism is from Europe. Though we have got the concepts called Tiko and Vakhyana in Indian tradition, the typically modern concept called criticism is from Western influence. But with all that, our Kannada criticism, especially of first stage of modern Kannada literature, is it has got its own identity. It has got its own what should I say? It has got its own canvas.
Yeah.
So that is my study. And I'm very happy with this because though it looks, the concepts are from Western, the kind of Indian or Kannada tradition they have created through the tradition of criticism is something remarkable. The achievement of first stage of Kannada criticism is that it can create the tradition of Kannada literary criticism, and it can also place modern Kannada texts in its real places. For example, there is a saying that Kuvempu is the Wordsworth of Kannada.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, but that is not the case. Kuvempu is much better than Wordsworth in its real sense.
Yeah.
When Wordsworth says, let's go back to nature, but Kuvempu is a child of nature.
Yeah.
Child of nature. And when it comes to Kuvempu's criticism, Kuvempu can create a canvas wherein we can study all our old Kannada literary texts in a modern perspective.
Okay.
Though they are, though they are traditional in their outlook, in their perspective, but in its sense, in its essence, Kannada literature is absolutely modern in its spirit.
Yeah.
In its spirit. For example, our 12th century Sharana movement, Vachana movement, which we call, is a real model to our contemporary world.
Okay.
They are against caste system, they are against gender, they are against all those, what we call a conceptual or traditional value system. They are against all those things.
Okay.
So Kannada literary criticism can establish the real essence of, Kannada mind, Kannada world.
Yeah. I think this is a very lesser known fact among common people, right? I don't think many people are aware to this extent about, like how you said about casteism and the other things. I think the awareness is not there.
It is there, but as you said, not in common people.
Yeah.
But in the literary world, we are so proud of our Kannada literary tradition. We always feel, it is the misfortune of a Nobel committee that they can't award people like Bendre, Masti, or Kuvempu their Nobel Award because of the limitations of the translation. Otherwise, they are much above than any other awards, the greatest awards in the world.
Yeah. I think thank you, Dr. Asha, because like I said, this is a lesser known fact among common people, and I think this should reach out to more people. And
especially to the non-Kannadigas, I feel. They should know the real, character of Kannada world.
Yeah, true. So I would like to talk about your next thing. You used to write a column in Prajavani called Naarikela.
Yeah.
So if you can tell us a bit about what the topics used to be, and is it still relevant now?
No, the thing is, when Prajavani offered me a column, I was a bit hesitant about writing a column, mainly because I'm an academician, a purely academician, and I don't know how, I could reach the common readers, because Prajavani has got a vast, readership in Kannada, and that is the highest, reading newspaper in Kannada. Then I told them, no, don't offer me this column, because I've got a title in the literary world, Asha Devi, they call me, because I always write in concepts. I know it's not very easily understandable and all those things. But then they insisted, no, let's try, madam, let's try, madam. Then I started. And when they published it as a book, I have written in my foreword that the column has changed my language. When I wrote my first column, it's about a novel in Kannada. It's by Shankar Mukha Shipodekar, Gangava Ganga Mai. When I wrote that, the kind of response I got, it was something amazing, I tried to place that novel as a real feminist novel. And the heroine of that novel is a modern heroine. Though she looks very traditional and conventional, but her spirit is so modern. So then it gave me the strength so that I can reread all the important works. I feel they are very important, and there is another perspective through which we can re-establish those texts. From that perspective, I started my column. I wrote my column for 2 years, and the kind of not only the response, and wherever I used to go, when I was building my house, I went to select tiles and all. There I met a man. He said, "Madam, ನೀವು ಆಶಾ ದೇವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನೀವು ನಾರಿಕೇಳ ಬರಿತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ. ಆ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಓದಿ ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನ ನನ್ನ ಹೆಂಡತಿನ ನೋಡೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನ ಬದಲಾಯಿತು." Then I thought, wow, that is the need of the art.
Correct.
It's not that Asha Devi is writing the column, but the whole world is trying to change its sensibility and its perspective, and it's our duty to provide a space for that.
Correct, yeah. So maybe you can tell a bit about what is it that actually invoked that change in him, like any topic that you remember or anything that would make sense to our viewers as well.
See, for example, I wrote a column on Bendre's Sakhi Gita. Sakhi Gita is his masterpiece. The same poet called Bendre has written a poem earlier. It's titled Manadanne. Though the title of the poem is Manadanne, it starts like this: Aadadiru ennege idiraadadiru, don't try to oppose me. Though the title of the poem is Manadanne, is beloved, means beloved.
Yeah.
At the end it says, ಮಲಗಿರುವ ಹಾವನ್ನು ಕೆಣಕಬೇಡ, ಕಚ್ಚಿ ವಿಷ ಕಾರಿದರೆ ತಿಣುಕಬೇಡ, ಕೂಡಿರಲಿ ಬಾಳು ಇಡಿಗಾಳಿನಂತೆ, ಮಾಡದಿರು ಬಾಳನ್ನು ಬೇಳೆಯಂತೆ. See, it is threatening in a way. Though the title and the essence of the poem, they are two different poles. They are opposite.
Contrasting.
He's trying to blackmail his wife. No, you can't oppose it. You can't oppose me. You can't resist me. But the same poet called Bendre, when it comes to his Sakhi Gita, look at the title of the poem, Sakhi Gita. Sakhi means friend.
Yeah, correct.
So, from that boss husband, he has transformed himself to a friend. He's trying to treat his own wife as a friend.
Wow.
So, the definition of marriage has changed in that long poem. It is not husband and the wife, where husband is the ruler and she is the subject. No. In this sense, probably in a period of 15, 20 years, he could change himself. He could change himself. So, common readers can identify themselves with the poet. They can and they should.
Yes.
They should change themselves, their perspectives towards women. So, probably they can connect themselves with all these characters.
But I think it's because you brought out these things in your column. Some
probably,
people could connect, right?
Definitely.
It's amazing.
Research students, they said, oh, it has changed our perspectives. I feel, oh God, my job is done.
No, even, I have studied Kannada, but when you talk about it itself, it makes me think like, how come we don't know so much about these kind of things, these kind of poems, these kind of works by...
This is what we call rehistory. Rehistory means you can't change history, but you can definitely change your perspective towards history. Okay, so there are certain writers in Kannada whom we think that they are very modern in their perspective and sensibilities, but that's not the case. For example, when it comes to people like S.L. Bhairappa or even U.R. Anantmurthy, they're so modern in their outlook, but if you read their texts from a women's eye, it's a totally different experience we get.
I always say that, stories and these literary works, it has multiple dimensions because it all depends on how the reader perceives it and what point of view they have when they read such kind of works.
So if it is a pure literary work, it can transform itself into any changing, dimensions. For example, when people like Kumar Vasa in his epic poetry, his Draupadi, she says, ಇನ್ನು ನಾರಿಯರು ಹುಟ್ಟದೇ ಇರಲಿ ಎನ್ನವನು ಭಂಗಿತರು ಭುವನದೊಳಗೆ. Draupadi says, God, let any woman not born.
Correct.
Because I am the most humiliated woman on the earth. Even to this day, many women can identify themselves, connect themselves with that Draupadi, whom we consider as the most bold women. But in reality, that's not the case. That's not the case. So, Kumaravasa's Draupadi, or his definition of, establishment, government, governance, he says, Arasu Rakshasa, ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಮೊರೆವಾಹುಲಿ ಪರಿವಾರ ಹದ್ದಿನ ನೆರವಿ ಬಡವರ ಭಿನ್ನ ಪವನಿನ್ನಾರು ಕೇಳುವರು. That is our experience, even in the age of democracy.
True. I think excellent points that I learned from you today.
Because basically literature is, as Aristotle says, is a universal truth. It is also universal truth and it is also timeless. Right?
True. Very true. I think one thing that I would like to take away from this conversation is, we spend very little time trying to understand these old literatures, the poems and the what do you say, the perception that these people had while writing. I think you've brought it out beautifully, Dr. Asha.
It's a pleasure talking to you, Sneha.
Thank you.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. There are a lot of things that I can cover about you because it will go into an endless conversation. So we'll try to keep it short. And I know that you have 19 publications.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a bit about your work? And is it that once you are done with your PhD, you started writing this? Or what was it that invoked that thing in you to start creating something of your own?
As soon as I finished my PhD, I joined government service
Okay.
as a lecturer in Kannada. Then slowly I started going for seminars.
Okay.
You know, whenever I used to present my paper, people used to ask me, when are you going to publish all these articles? Finally, in 2006, I published my first original work. Before that, I have got some publications. I worked as editor, so I have edited certain works also. My first publication is Strimatavan Uttarisalagade. Can you answer a woman?
Yeah.
I have taken this from Kumarvasa, one of my favorite poet. So the same poem continues as Strimatavan Uttarisalagade Dharma Shastradol. Can religion answer women's questions? Because usually religion always tries to focus on women. They try to capture women as their source and as their weapon.
Yes.
So that is the question asked by Draupadi, and I think that question still remains with us. We are still asking religion, we are still asking our patriarchy, can you answer us? Can you answer our questions? So from then on, my next original work is Naduve Suliva Atma. Soul, Atma, soul in between. Soul is neither male nor a female. So soul is independent, soul is autonomous.
Correct.
So that should be our real, or should I say, that is our real question. And that is our real goal. So you should identify women as soul, not as a mere body.
Wow. That's really deep, actually. Because we normally associate genders and, like you said, distinguish men and women. But what it is within us is just a soul. And
soul. Okay.
So beautifully brought out, Dr. Asha. And so do you still write?
My 4 publications are under print.
Okay.
One is my English publication. It's Walking on the Water. Is the title of the
Interesting.
book. Walking on the Water. It's a line from a very important poet called Adrian Rich.
Okay.
So we don't know how to swim, so we walk on the water. This patriarchy never allows us to swim. So, but we are so energetic and we are so rebellious. We can walk on the water.
Wow.
It's a metaphor, and it's my favorite metaphor. So I have named it as Walking on the Water.
Awesome. So these are the things that we can expect in
a month or 2.
Awesome. So is there some place where we can place a link to your works which people can maybe refer to or have a look?
I know I've got a National Fellowship for Cultural Research. It's called Rabindranath Tagore National Research Fellowship for Cultural Research, wherein I have worked on the area feminism and our women Vachanakaras of 12th century, their discourse with the feminism. It has been published by Central Sahitya Academy and it's named as Belakiginta Bellege.
Okay.
Belakiginta Bellege. So you can get all these books in any of our major bookshops.
Okay.
So that
sure. I think if we get something, then maybe we can leave a link because I'm sure after listening to this conversation, there will be people. Now let's move to another interesting aspect. You are a recipient of plenty of awards, and I will name just a few of them. The 2020 Sahitya Academy Award from Karnataka, plus Masti Award, and there was one more. Actually, there's a long list, so I have to write it down, the Kalaburgi Award. So how does it feel when your work is recognized and when these awards are given?
No, I started getting awards from 2006 onwards.
Okay.
M.K. Indira, one of our major writers, that is the first award I got. But the most, what should I say, happiest moment was when I got a GSS award, GS Shivarudrappa Award for criticism, because that is considered as the most prestigious award for critics. I felt very happy mainly because I got it, and probably I'm the youngest to get it when I got it in 2011. When Professor G.S. Shivarudrappa himself called me that I have got this award, I told him, sir, I'm too young to get this award. Then he said, who told you that this award is meant for seniors?
Yeah.
This award is meant for path breakers, and you are a path breaker. Actually, you should have got it some 4 or 5 years back, but then we thought you are too young, too young. Then I have decided, no, this year it should go to Asha. You know, I felt so happy because, not happy because I got the award, but I felt happy because feminism, feminist criticism has got this recognition.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
That is the main reason. And I consider J. Shivarudrappa as a fatherly figure in my life. Though I am not his direct student, I always treat him as my mentor. Same with Professor M. Kalaburgi. Though I'm not his direct student again, but I always consider him as my guru. I used to get a call almost every day in the early morning, some 4:30. What are you doing, Asha Devi? And whenever he used to assign me a work, if I not completed it in the on time, he used to call me, who named you Asha Devi? They should have named you Nirasha Devi. He was a taskmaster, Kalaburgi. So when I got the award in his name, I felt, I'm very happy for those awards.
Amazing achievements, Dr. Asha. I think whatever we say is too less. And congratulations on all your awards. Though I'm sure it would have come few years earlier, right? Many years earlier. Like when was the
Sahitya Shri
2020?
20. I think in 21 I got Masti Award, another prestigious
Yeah.
award. So I think I'm lucky. I don't know whether I deserve these awards, but all these awards always makes me feel even more responsible.
Very true.
These awards enhances our responsibilities.
Yeah. So currently you are, like you said, you are a professor and head of department, right? At Maharani University. Yeah. So other than that, when do you take time to write? In the sense, like, do you have specific
early morning is my
silence
time. Usually I get up around 2:30. From 2:30 to 6 is my own time. No soul on the earth can disturb me.
Oh my God.
But I go to bed very early. 8:30 I'll go to bed.
Still, I've heard people wake up at 4:30, 2:30 is like...
But 2:30 is my time.
The golden period, is it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Most precious time.
So probably I think like we have met some writers who say that they get these thoughts when they're driving or doing something. So probably...
Same with me, though I don't drive myself. But I do get, whenever I'm cooking, when my cook is not there, when I'm cooking, or, when I'm doing something else, I get these crazy ideas. I can write something on this, I can write something on this.
Nice. I have written a book on a poetry book.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So there I used to wake up in the middle of the night and then that poem used to come to me.
I know. Yeah.
So that's the reason I asked this question to all writers. Dr. Asha, it's been an amazing, amazing conversation. Actually, because of you, I started remembering my college days and my student days where I used to study Kannada. I've studied Hale Kannada as well, but it's all forgotten now. But I think connecting...
Now you can renew it.
Yeah, connecting with you. It's made me, reconnect with Kannada. So thank you so much. It's been a wonderful conversation. And I think you're one of the gems that we have in Kannada. So thank you so much for coming here and sharing your journey.
Same here. I'm very happy for sharing my thoughts with you, Sneha.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best for your channel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.